Taco Bell, Taco Bell, Taco Bell. George is getting out of the car. Taco Bell, Taco Bell. George are walking in. You're getting ready to get cut through, right? So they spend how many hours? 11 and a half hours getting ready for her. And we're getting how many seconds getting ready for them? Hi, I'm Shawn. I gave up Taco Bell for you. Get it? So when it's your turn to be up, your turn to be phone, your turn to answer that email, gotta be there. Now here's a question about email. What's a clock stopper?
Somebody who just stops the clock just for the sake of stopping the clock for response.
How do you stop the clock?
Write an email or call.
Email comes in. The ultimate goal of success is to catch the customer at their computer while they're sending the email. So if you send an email back within seconds of the email arriving, you're catching the customer at their computer. You're connecting with them first. The lead providers send the email to 4 different dealerships, right or wrong. The person that sends the email response, not a response, automatic response, not that. The person that sends the email first, a real person, is the person that's going to have the best opportunity of getting the sale. Okay?
Would you say it's better to just email first than not to call first?
Well, that's coming up in this section right here. We're going to show you the differences between email or call or text, or we want to know where the customer is ready at. We just don't want to go arbitrarily and just do whatever. We want to respond to how they want us to respond. I'm going to show you the difference in this second half. You with me so far? All right. So the customers finally do all this search. They come around, they come to your dealership, and they're saying to you, I'll pick 3 different dealerships, and maybe I'll give you the opportunity to sell me a car, right? Let's see what maybe looks like.
Let me say,
I'd just like to add that the spectrometer readout of the nickel cadmium alloy mix indicates a good rich Strober's phase, increasing indolence aware discussion.
you're not speaking my language. What my associate is trying to say is that our new brake pads are really cool. You're not even going to believe it. Like, let's say you're driving along the road with your family, and you're driving along, then all of a sudden there's a truck tire in the middle of the road, and you hit the brake. Whoa, that was close. Now let's see what happens when you're driving with the other guy's brake pad. You're driving along, and all of a sudden the kids are yelling from back seat, I gotta go to the bathroom, Daddy. Not now, damn it. Brake tire. I can't stop. There's a clear hole! And your family screaming, oh my God! No, I can't feel it! Here comes the meat wagon! And the man gets up and says, oh my God! The new guy's in the corner puking his guts out.
All because you want to save a couple extra pennies. To me,
This doesn't count. Now,
What did you guys see? There's a customer that said, maybe, right? Did they totally make a buyer into a shopper? Totally made a buyer into a shopper, didn't they? So at the very beginning, the customer said what? Said, whoa, little fellow, I can't understand what you're saying. Okay? So some of the studies that we've done, some of the surveys that we've done, customers told us we don't want car lingo anymore. We don't want to know about a salesman or selling a car. We don't want to know about F&I. We don't want to know anything about being anything. Don't want to be upside down. So, what to do? We started suggesting that we get away from the car lingo in the car industry and become a little bit more personal, right? So with that said, let's talk about what we like and don't like about internet shopping. Give me some quick ideas. This section goes pretty quickly, but I need to get feedback from you, and I need to put on over here. Give me some likes.
typically know what they want.
Okay, good one. What else?
Just an internet shopper?
Everybody's an internet shopper.
They have a realistic expectation of what to pay.
Okay, what else? Come on. And we're all car salesmen. We're all in the business. It's okay. Keep it clean, but it's okay for you guys to tell me exactly how you feel. Do we think that they're a little bit of a jerk when some of them come up?
What's the best price?
Is that a like or a dislike?
Just like
Okay, price. What else? Do we think they're abrupt maybe? They're a little bit rude?
Yes.
It's okay to say those things. We're all on the same team.
Everyone's tough over the internet.
Say again?
Everyone's tough over the internet.
Tough? Okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Okay, tough.
their ethos.
What else? Quick. Give me something. Give me some
Undecided.
likes. Huh?
Undecided.
Undecided? Is that a like or a dislike?
Indecisive, you mean? Indecisive?
Yeah, undecisive.
Okay. We're good? Is there more likes? You guys don't like the fact that most of the time they know what they want, they've already done some of the shopping. They come to you, they,
Just want a price.
okay, so is price also a good thing? They want, everybody chisels, right or wrong. Everybody wants a discount. Even if the guy wants to flop all over the car, what's the first thing out of his mouth? How much discount I can give you, right? So we gotta know how to recognize that. So price could also be a like, because when they're asking you how much, what are they asking you?
We need to make business.
They want you to sell them a car, right? They're saying, I'm asking you how much are you gonna discount the car? Because I'm interested in that car. And I'm here interviewing who? They wanna know if you're a knucklehead or if you're that guy that has the product knowledge. Why is the GM, GSM in every meeting says, learn product knowledge?
Build value.
These guys go to the big 20 groups and they learn that product knowledge. Customers wanna, they haven't seen the car, they've seen it virtually, but they haven't seen it in real life. You guys have seen it in real life. The customer wants to validate what they found virtually with who? A transportation doctor. You're no longer salespeople starting today. Before today, you were all car salesmen. Starting today, well, before today, you were all car salesmen, and that's BS. And that stands for before Shawn. But starting right now, you guys are a transportation doctor. You feel good about that, doctor? How you doing, doctor? All right.
Some people still call it.
Now let's talk
back like
about, we'll come back to this. But let's talk about this. What does it take to put a person in a frame of mind, a place that the customer says, this is the place, you've got the car, you're the man, I'm gonna buy right here. What is that button, that trigger that comes on in the back of the buyer's mind that says, I'm gonna buy from this guy here today? What needs to go over here?
Trust.
Who said trust? That is worth a big prize of unspeakable value. Trust is huge, guys. Put a star next to it. Trust is huge. Honesty. Okay, trust and honesty. Good one. Honesty and trust go hand in hand. We're going to categorize them under just one. Remember how we did walk-ins? You might go see somebody away from the dealership, dry cleaners, bank, whatever. They're all walk-ins. So trust and honesty go hand in hand.
Excitement, energy.
Excitement, energy. Now, look at what I wrote here. Even the people that are pipe smokers and they're blocked face, they have what? They don't show it very well. They're poker face, right? So what feelings, what impulses, and what trigger?
Value.
Good. Value is good. Give me another word. Give me another way for me to understand what value means. What do I need to do with value?
Futures of
Something you make them do. How do you make them do value? Value on what? You? The dealership? Car? What? All of it.
Interaction with the car.
Right questions.
I cannot give you the answer to this. You need to come up with the exact word, just like this word, trust. You guys gotta come up with it. But how do you have to make them feel? So you are separated and differentiated from everybody else that sells cars that they have shopped. So when they get to you, they get stuck on you. They don't want to leave you. Hey, right.
Character.
How do you have to make them feel about you?
Make them like you.
Captivated?
That's exactly my word. Like is the other 2-star.
Can you throw some vegetables instead?
Just a winner?
Okay? All right. Who needs to go? So like is the biggest one out of all of them. What's the third thing? You were right on top of it. You were right on top of it. You got I remember in the 70s, I remember hearing it from the sales staff all the way up to I became a salesman. That hasn't changed. The question is still the same. Yes, sir? Report. Yeah. All of this, you're absolutely correct. All of this is rapport. But what consists of rapport? Like is one of them, trust is another one. You gotta make them like you. You gotta make them like the dealership. You gotta make them like car. Yeah, but you need to make them like the car because everybody else has got. You gotta make them love. You gotta make them love it, baby. If they love it, they're stuck on you. All right? Okay, what's the last one? What's a customer need to do with you for that trigger, for that button, for that feeling to come across saying, I want to do business?
Laugh.
Ether?
Laugh.
Smile.
Connect.
You guys remember, what's ROI?
Return on investment.
And what's ROE?
Return on experience.
So would you say, this is a big one right here?
Experience.
Would you say this right here, if they have it better with you as opposed to your competitor, they're willing to stop and do what here?
Like.
So the best experiences win, right? So let's talk about this. All of this goes under rapport. And we talked about this stuff being so important because the internet doesn't have that available to it anymore, right? So let me ask this question. How many people have a significant other or wife, a girlfriend, or anything? Raise your hands, everybody. Raise your hands. How do you make them, how do you make somebody like you, love you, trust you? Is it earned or is it you make somebody do all those?
Make them laugh.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. It's earned. You don't make somebody trust you. You don't make somebody like you. You don't make somebody love you or love what you have. You don't make somebody have a great experience. Those are all what? Totally earned. As long as you can understand the difference between earning it and not is where the difference is. So we're going to give you some help. How do you make somebody like you, trust you, love you, experience? So here's how we're going to start. Number one thing, I come to your dealership. I'm the customer, you're the salesman. Pay close attention because if you don't pay attention to this, you're going to lose the deal every single time. The same thing happens the same way every single time on every deal before this goes through. If I come to your dealership and I trust you, but I don't like you, will I buy a car?
No.
I trust you, but I don't like you. Will I buy a car?
No.
Everybody say no? You're absolutely correct.
I think if they don't like you, they probably won't trust you anyway.
If I don't trust you, but I like you, will I buy a car?
Probably, yes. Probably.
You gotta understand the difference between this. Trust is simply this. I come to your dealership, I meet you. I've already been shopping 3 different places, but I found you and I like you. But I don't trust what you're saying to me. So here's what I'm gonna do. I like you, I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna do some more studies, some more research, some more online, offline. And then I'm gonna come back the next day and I'm gonna ask for you. Because I've already found the guy out of 3 or 4 dealerships that I wanna do business with. That's where people come in and ask for you. So you gotta bend over backwards, make sure you're like me. So what about the other way around? They absolutely don't like you, but they trust you. They trust the dealership. What you're saying is correct. They trust the dealership. They trust what you said online is correct. If they don't like you, the next day they're gonna come in and they're gonna do business with one of your partners online, and when they see you from the corner of the eye, they're doing one of these things. That ever happened? Where the customers come in, they don't ask for you. You just spent 3 hours with them 2 days ago. They come in because they trust the dealership, they trust the car, they trust the online information, but they absolutely did not like you. That's why they went out of their way not to ask for you. They just don't want to make eye contact with you. What's the first thing we do? We walk up to them, hey! You're my customer. My customer. Not the dealership, not my customer. Do you understand the difference? So if you had a choice between making them trust you or like you, which is the direction we want to go? Like. That's what you got to do. Now sometimes it's 100 degrees out here in Alhambra, right? It's 100 degrees outside. How hot is it? 200 degrees inside the car? You got to pull out too deep. The kid's crying. The wife says too damn hot. You got to do something like this. Grab a bottle of water, give it to the wife, pull me into the air conditioning, go get the car, bring it out, cool it down before you put them in the car. Go for a test drive and come back down. That's how you make people like you. But let me give you some more ammo. How do you differentiate between you and everybody else? This is a great example. I mean, there's more into this than meets the eye. When the customer says maybe to you, is when they send you the email and call and come on the showroom floor. We cannot lose that opportunity. So in this segment, we're going to give you a little bit of a help to connect with these customers. But you're the decider. Some of the dealers decide, okay, I want to stay in my old way, practice my old way. Some say I want the old way, possibly the new way. Very few people, very few dealers, they want to be the internet dealership. Very few dealers, they want to be completely on board with what the customer's mindset, attitude, and uniqueness is. Let me explain what I'm talking about. I'm the salesman, you're the customer. You just went online, spent 11 hours finding the car that you absolutely love. You found that car for $29,500. You finally got enough gall to get in the car, come down here to see me. When you walk in, you're either greeted by me or one of the guys in the dealership. Pay close attention. 11 and a half hours, you shopped and found the car for $29,500. You walk in, and I go, price is $32,500. How are you feeling?
You don't like me or
It's not
trust me,
mine.
that's fine.
Does that ever happen?
Really not.
So you go to the manager. You know, Mr. Manager, $32,500, customer wants the car. You make the deal. You force it, jam it down the throat, you get $3 extra thousand. You make the deal, customer buys it, pays more for it. Will they ever forget? If I come to you and I like the business that you did with me, I like the experience, how many people am I going to tell?
250.
One, two, three. If I like you, 2 or 3 people max. If I hate you, how many times am I going to know? What does that mean in the internet world? This many people times millions of people. It would suck pretty bad if somebody bought a car from you last August and cost you a bunch of deals during the time in this August, wouldn't it? So here's a question. Does anybody on your dealership controls the reputation of the dealership?
Everybody.
All do.
Each and every single one.
Right? What happens if somebody, one of your customers, says something bad about your dealership? Dealership can protect itself, right? They got a building full of attorneys, whatever. What if the customer chooses to use your name in that email or that blog? Can you protect yourselves?
No.
Would you want to know a way to protect yourself? Do you think it would make a difference in future customers? So what is Google mode? Write that one down because Google mode is coming. It's a lot like cell phone, like mobile phone. Next 3 years, you're going to know a lot about Google mode and cell phone. And Google mode simply means this. I need an answer and I need it now. Is that like 100% of our customers? They're surfing from place to place. They're going from place to place. When they walk in, they got what? I got research and I know more than. So Here's what the customers told us. They liked how they shopped with you on the internet, but they didn't like it when they came into the dealership to negotiate price. Here's the question that every single customer asks. I want one of you guys to read this.
You wanna
Do
buy
I
from
want to
you?
buy from you? That's what the customer's thinking when they're picking up the phone with you, when they're walking up to you, when they're doing that. So we're gonna see if we can connect you completely to a customer right now. And that's the $1 million question. Every single time a customer asks that question when you come in contact with them. Not because you guys are good people, you're close to the ceiling as far as reputation, but there's those of us like us in the car business that are what? They've ruined our reputation, right? So here's how we're gonna change it. 6 out of 10 people walk into the dealership, and has this ever happened? They go from the clean atmosphere here to, you ever seen this before? Anybody?
That's a terrible force word.
Is that a connection or a disconnection?
Turn off.
So here's a question for you. Tell me, what does that say right there?
We'll have to think about it.
All right, here's another $1 million question where most dealers get stuck with and lose deals. So pay close attention. Customer comes in, 100 degrees, 200 degrees inside the car. Bottle, baby, wife, candy, whatever. Finally go on a test drive. Finally get on paper. Finally TO it. Finally 4 hours goes by and the customer says, we'll have to think about this. That's the moment the majority of the salespeople don't connect. How many dealers do they go to find? How many dealers would they go shopping? That's what the national average is. 3 dealers they go shopping physically in. You don't know if you're first dealer or the last dealer, but here's something that you need to ask at this moment. What can I do to be your #1 choice? Because when they're leaving you, where are they going?
Next list.
They go into the competitors, aren't they? This is where a majority of the sales are lost, right here, where the disconnection comes in. Where do I need to be? What do I need to do to become your first choice dealer? When this happens, Mr. Manager, Mr. GSM, tell me, what's the first thing that comes into a car salesman's mind?
Price.
What do I have to do to earn your
Business.
Isn't that what they hear at every single place they go to? How can we separate ourselves? How can we say something differently than they've heard before elsewhere? Those are the questions that put you to the next level, separate you from all the other car salesmen. Okay? What do I need to do to become your first choice dealer and make a deal? Obviously, you didn't spend 4 hours here for nothing. Something must have gone wrong. We all know that. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to bother. I need Jack downstairs.
Let's go, Jack.
Jack. Sorry.
So we surveyed the market, they told us the car dealerships all have one thing in common. When they came on lot, every single dealership wanted control. Every single dealership asked for a demo, write-up, TO, which is not the wrong thing. The owner, GSM, GM, everybody says, go and get to control. Go and get a demo, get a write-up, TO the deal before they leave. Take control of the deal, right or wrong.
Turn it before you burn it.
Somebody told me a long time ago, in order to gain control from somebody, you gotta give up control, right? You all have significant others. Can you control them? What do they feel like when you control them? Right? Who really has control? When the customer comes into the dealership, on the phone, online, who's got control? Customer has control 100% of the time. Because why? They can hang up on you. They can stop emailing you. Does that ever happen when they send the first email and they don't respond again? Who's got control?
They do.
Who's got control?
They do.
When the customer comes in, they don't like something, could they get in the car and leave?
Yes.
All day long, right?
Emergency.
Emergencies happen. So let's see what we can do to give you some ammo, some help. So when this happens, customer walks in and say, let's go for a demo, and the customer says, we take it personally, don't we? Guys, we don't need to be in control just yet. If a customer doesn't want a demo, that's okay, Mr. Customer, but eventually you have to feel it for size. Eventually you have to know what it feels like. You won't go buying a suit without checking it on. It might not look good on you, it might be wrong size. We gotta make sure we're doing it right. So it's okay if they put the demo to a different location in the sales process, right or wrong?
Right.
So we want to make sure the customer knows they are in control, because why? They are in control. So some of the steps, we're not here to tell you about sales process. I'm sure you all have worked this to know the first step is still that, right? Meet and greet. What about this? Establishing rapport, how important is that? We just established that rapport right here, didn't we? What about qualifying? What about walking around, demo, trading evaluation, negotiate? Is this still used to happen? Still happens now? Did all of this change when the internet came around? It didn't. Take a look at this right here. This is the consumer connections the way it used to happen. But watch this. You, sir, read that top line for me. New online steps. On the last slide, what was the first thing that we did with the customer? What was the first step? Meet and greet, right? Take a look at the first step with the customer. When a customer wants to buy a car, the first thing they do, they go log on, they go shopping for it where? On the internet. So your first step now, the customer, is qualifying themselves with a, what's an SRP, somebody tell me?
Search result page.
Search result page. And then what about this? Does a walk around happen online? Think about one used car. How many photos you have with one of your used cars?
8, 9.
8, 9? Write this down. National average is 27. There are dealers that have 40 and 50. If I'm looking for that Corvette, and if somebody's showing me 7 or 8 pictures as opposed to 27, which is national average, who am I more drawn to? So I'm sitting on my couch, I'm shopping for the car that I love, and I want to know everything about it. 27 is national average. What about this? Can they get a virtual demo online? How do they do that?
YouTube.
I'll share that with you. I'll share with you how a virtual demo happens. I'm not sure if you're doing this. It takes all of about 30 seconds. Let's see what it looks like.
Hello, Mr. Shopper. This is Shawn Nehrir, assisting you from Alhambra in Pasadena, VW. I am sending you this message on your brand new 2012 Tiguan. It does have your custom wheels you asked about, specifically in color, silver color with a black interior. And you asked some questions regarding the vehicle. This is a way for me to contact you, have a 30-second video, and show you your car in real life, because I know for pictures worth 1,000 words, and video is worth a lot more. So here's your new car. I'm looking forward to meeting you on Saturday morning. More importantly, if you have any questions, you need anything, please pick up the phone with me and or dial me, email me, contact me however way you like. I'm here at your service. You have a fantastic day, and I'll see you Saturday morning. See you now.
Guys, I sucked, to be honest with you. That was a terrible job. This car's going by, I don't know the product. Do I know product knowledge? Hell no. Do I know how to say your, what's it called, Tiguan? Could you guys do a better job than that? Now, how many dealers did the lead provider send that lead to?
3 to 5.
4. That's the national average, is 4. So a lot of the dealerships sending these templates. You're sending something like this. Do you think the customer is going to pay a tiny bit of attention to you more than, so let's talk about something else. Customer comes on the lot, you help them, and then they leave. Could you respond with something like that? Hopefully if you have your email address or the phone, right? Could you do something like that? Anything, write this one down. Anything more than 33 seconds goes to the junk folder. 33 seconds. That literally took me 30 seconds to do, but separate yourself. What needs to happen for you to be differentiated between everybody else that the customer goes shopping to? What needs to happen? You gotta be different. That deserves a whole bunch of stuff. Being different, hey sir. So, different. Not only this, but you gotta be different than everybody else before it works. Let's continue on. Trade-in value, they can get it online. They can negotiate. Did I get rid of those 3 higher price and the 3 lower price? Stayed with the in-market dealers? I eliminated everybody that I didn't want to do business with. Guess what happens now? They come in 11.5 hours, they're ready to go for you, and all of this happens when? Before they do like 50%, 60% of the work for you. They already know. I like the ones that they drive in. They get out of the car, they go run right next to the car they want to buy before they even have a chance to get out of the showroom. Have you seen those guys? Yeah. That's pretty awesome. They know what they want. So, and then this one. What step was meet and greet on the last go around? The old way. It was number 1, right? Where is it now? Look how much work that they do before they do what? So is it important to have a huge meet and greet? And right off the bat, start with this right here. I promised you I'm going to share with you what it takes to build rapport and not have to work very hard about it. So we're going to do that for you. It's coming up next. So building rapport is what? People buy from people they like because they are different. And so customers come in, they want to confirm what they've virtually understood and researched about. They want to confirm it with who? And then they finally commit. That light bulb finally goes on. I want to do business with you because you've done all of this and all of this. I want to commit and buy it with you. But I really haven't showed you what this does. It's coming up in about 2 seconds. Can you read that number 11? What's CSI stand for?
Consumer shared information.
Yeah, but what does it really stand for? Customer satisfaction index, J.D. Powers and the manufacturers. That's still very important. We still, in order to get a job, to have a job, you gotta have a good customer satisfaction index. But the real electronic way of CSI, if I tell my friends I had a terrible experience here, will they ever show up?
No.
So is this truly customer satisfaction index nowadays? When you go on Facebook, Google, dealer raters and all that, those are the reasons why it's important to protect you and your name. And that will become, oh here, write this formula down. What happens before you plus why you. Customers select you not by accident, but because you were better than the last 3 and the next 2. Before you plus why you equals volume and gross. Which we hear more about as salespeople? All day long. Because the bank is interested in their mortgage. Don't care how many cars we sold. I would promise you this. If you want to stay employed, the GSM and the GM, the owner, they want you to deliver volume. So you go at it 3 times, you finally take the deal, right? Because you can't replace that customer, but you can replace that car. So coming up, let's talk about engaged influence, ROI, ROE success. I need a volunteer. Come on up. Rafi, step up to the right here. All right, take a look around, you guys. Who's the luckiest guy in the room right now?
Literally, it is Rafi, actually.
Look at all these eyeballs that are eyeing right now. Does it matter if you screw up?
No.
They're gonna just tell you, right? Do you want to screw up in front of customers?
No.
All day long we don't. So do me a favor and read that top portion right there.
New electronic age, all about steps.
Okay, this is customer walking in, right? What's the first one?
Be different, stand out. Source.
Stop. Your owner, your GM, your GSM, they won't make a dime unless they get the customers to come in, right? So are we in a numbers game, yes or no? Yeah. Do we want to have the biggest share of the customers knowing where the eyeballs of the customers are? So when it says source here, hey Rafi, how did you find us? Oh, I was on the internet. That doesn't get it, guys. You got to dig it in there and find out where. Is it cars.com, autotrader.com? They definitely didn't find your website. They found somebody other than your website before. You need to let these guys know where they came from so they can make more creation of customers for you. We're in a numbers game. It goes hand in hand. You guys are 20-25% owner of this business, right or wrong. So that source, how important is that source, Rafi? Very important. So you got to dig in, not just the internet, but where. What's the next time? Slow it down. All right. Now we know the customers walk in, they're what? 100 miles an hour, Google mode. I need an answer and I need it now. Chest back, shoulders back, chest out, right? We need to slow them down. By slowing them down, what happens to the whole process? We become the same exact speed as them, and we're able to think clearly, right or wrong. Let's see how that happens. You got to give up control, and then what? Take back control. Because they're going to give it to you, right? You got to feel good about you first. So guess what happens when a customer comes on the lot? Read that.
Hello, my name is, you are?
I'm Shawn.
Hey, I'm Rafi.
All right. All right, from today on, everything you knew about selling cars and how to approach your customers is BS, and that stands for?
Before Shawn.
Before Shawn. customers like human beings. When we grow up, as children, our parents teach us how to say hello and how are you to somebody, right? And our trigger goes where? When somebody says hello to you, you do what? I do something for you, you do something for me. When I say how are you, you do what?
Good, how are you?
Perfect. A lot of the car salespeople have gotten away from being a human. Would you believe that? First thing out of their word is, can I help you? Do you believe that? So what happens if you become more human? Let's see what happens. Hello, my name is Shawn, and you are? Rafi. How are you today, Rafi?
I'm good.
What city are you coming from?
Lando.
Lando. So why is that important for me to know this?
To see how far they're
How
coming.
far they're coming. Why?
Well, because if they're coming 30 miles away, you know that you got the car they want.
Is that important to know?
Very huge.
What about this one here? Read it loud.
I'm assuming you're here because you saw a car online?
Did the customers get here by accident? Do we sell haircuts? Pizzas? Real estate. They're here for one reason only. What is that? To buy a specific car that we have. So is it fair to say, I'm assuming you're here because you're here to see a vehicle? What about this side?
Can you help me locate it by telling me about it?
All right, customer comes in, they don't see the car on the front line. What's the first thing that comes out of a regular car salesman's mouth? Not transportation doctors, car salesmen. What's the first thing they say? I'm looking for that 2007 Corvette. What's the first thing that comes into your minds?
Great, let me show you.
What's the stop? All right. How about this?
Great.
Help me locate it by telling me a little about it.
Absolutely.
So how can we separate ourselves from not asking for a stock number? Tell me what year it is, tell me what color it is, tell me what mileage it is. Do you guys have lists of inventory on used cars? Is everything alphabetically ordered? All of your Tiguans and all of your Bugs and all that? Could it happen that way? So if you have this inventory list and the Corvettes are all together, and tell me a little bit about it. So it's a little bit harder than saying give me the stock number, but the whole time you're doing what?
Making them trust you like you love you and go to experience.
Would somebody care about hello and how are you and all of that? They don't, I mean.
They get it everywhere they go.
They're saying you're a decent human being, you're good, you're here to help me. What about the next slide?
How much research have you done?
Okay now, hold on the phone. I went online, did all this research. I want somebody to acknowledge me. The customer says, I've done research, I know more than you do. By him saying, how much research have you done? Is he singing to my music? All day long, right? He's telling me what I want to hear. What about this line right here?
Offer options, a higher price, the new, and a lower one.
Why do I want to offer options? Am I looking to switch them?
Let's see where
Not
they
at this
stand.
moment.
Okay.
Planning to see.
Precisely right. It's a reason why it's a GSM. Planning to see, do I want to do it now? Or stay on one car, go all the way through to the write-up and find out the guy doesn't qualify for it? What happens when I introduce a new car and find out the guy doesn't qualify for it?
Can't get him off that car now. He's
Yeah.
stuck. He's in love.
Most of the time he blows what?
I'll go find the cosigner.
So if I plant the seed here, here's what happens. Hey, Rafi, I know you came here looking for that Corvette. I got another black one on the front line. I got 2 more in the shop. Just want to make sure if I was able to offer you something a little bit newer, a little bit less mileage, price, you wouldn't be interested now, would you? That's right. No, she wouldn't. I'm planting the seed that, hey, let me do more for you. The whole time I'm doing what? The whole time, what are you doing personally? You're planting the seed for later while he's thinking you're doing what? Offering him something better. Yeah? Keep going. Now this time, it's going to happen in real life. I mean, you can read this together. You're the person that I'm going to do role plays with, okay? You can read it off of you, that way you feel comfortable. In the previous classes, somebody came over, everybody have a smartphone? You take a click on that, you can deal with it later, but what you need to do, somebody called me and said, we've been doing it with one another. One guy stands in the showroom, the other guy's on the lot, they call each other, and I'm going to show you the call later, but they up each other. And one person is a customer, one person is a salesperson, and you go back and forth here. So I'm the customer, I'm walking up to you, go. Hello,
My name is Rafi, and you are?
I'm Shawn, how you doing?
How you doing today, Shawn?
I'm doing great.
Enjoying the heat.
Not really, not really. What city you coming from, Sean? I just came down from Orange County. Orange County, nice. I'm assuming you're here because you saw a car online? I did, I saw that Corvette. Can you help? Can you help me locate it by telling me about it? Yeah, it has 15,000 miles. It's silver with black, and should be the only one you have. Okay. How much research have you done, Sean? Well, I've been around 2-3 dealerships, and I found yours, and I got 2 other ones too. Nice. Sean, I do have 2 different ones as well, with different colors. A little bit less miles, around the same price. Doesn't have to happen like that. I got a black one on the front line and 2 in the shop. You want to give me choices. I also have a brand new one that our sister store has, and we can do a lease for you, or it could be a used tin one, I'll be honest. Right? You get it? Yes. Is it simple to practice? All right, guys, pay close attention to this. I'm not here to sell you word tracks. I'm here to sell you an idea. What is the idea I'm trying to sell you? Say again?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I want you to get away from being a car salesman.
I just want him to become like you.
We're transportation doctors now.
I want you to be away from selling cars and become human beings.
That's
Human
what-
beings
that's
do
what mine
this.
is.
Just to talk
Hello?
something,
How are you? Where you come from?
to talk about something else, not just go specific on the car, talk about, car.
Yes. You want to get away from the car. People buy people. If they like you, if they trust you, what are they going to do with you? Okay. Thank you. Everybody give me a round of applause. Basically, a product presenter as well, not just a doctor. What's that? You're like a product presenter, basically. You're a product presenter. Name yourself whatever you want except the salesman. All right. Let's keep going because this gets more interesting when it becomes on the phone. 2 out of 10 people call the dealership and read this to me.
Do I want to come in and see you?
That's what the customer's thinking. So let's see what happens. I need a volunteer. Go on up. When we went and did some sales calls to dealers, the customer said everybody wanted control, everybody wanted the phone number. Oh, here, get your name and number in case we get disconnected. I'll call you back with the information. When was the last time anything got disconnected on it? How many people have used that before?
Yeah, well,
They all have, right? So even if they give you the right number, they don't pick up the call, or even if they do give you a number, it's not the right number. So, and then everybody went for a name. Okay, appointment nowadays, guys? What the heck is an appointment? Where do you go for an appointment? Tell me.
dentist, doctor.
Exactly right. Appointment. In the car business, have we killed it to death?
Yeah.
Let's make an appointment. So let me ask this question. Does everybody in the room like me?
Yes.
Would you have me in your house to have a beer with you?
I would invite you to my house.
Exactly right. Again, that's the reason why it's the GSM. From this moment on, you all are able to use an invitation as opposed to appointment. So let's see what it looks like when we did some mystery shopping. Can you read that first one for me?
Based on secret shopper calls, 5 must have.
The dealers must have these things. They went for the gusto, for the throat on a phone call. They asked for, 72% asked for what?
The name. 55% get a phone number.
Hey, let me get your name and phone number in case we get disconnected. So what happened to the other 45%? On a phone call, if you don't get a phone number, what do you have?
Air.
Nothing on that. 32% offer multiple vehicle options.
How does that happen? Is it possible in person we offer it at multiple vehicles? Can we do it on the phone? Can it happen on the phone? Hey, Mr. Customer, I know you called about the F-150. I've got another one in the front line and 2 in the shop. Remind me to show you when you come in. What did I just do to you? Planted the seat to come in, and let me show them to you. I got 3, 4 options for you. The whole time I'm doing what with you? The customer's perception is, okay, I called this dealership, he's doing more than I asked for. What am I doing with you? I'm starting to build the trust. Now, what happens when I walk into the store? Am I more like the repeat referral customer, or am I like that customer that fresh comes up, it's got the blocks between you and you? They're trying to keep their money, and you're trying to break down the barrier. It's like, Repeat the phone. Could they like you on the phone? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. How could they do that? I got something coming up for you on the phone. So, what's the next one? 1/5 of the time, ask for qualifying questions. What are those? Are you looking for a lighter color or a darker color? Are you looking for a 2-door or a 4-door? Is the car for the lady or the gentleman? You guys get the message? Qualifying questions. What did you have in the last car that you liked and want? What you didn't have that you do want? Those are qualifying questions. Could you ask those things on the phone, yes or no?
Yes.
All day long. Could you build rapport on the phone, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
All day long.
What's this one here? This is what? That's BS, isn't it? What's BS stand for?
Before Shawn.
What are we gonna do now? Are you guys gonna invite customers in? Let me ask this question. Remember that deer in your house we're talking about? If you don't invite me to your house, will I ever show up?
No.
Right? We don't make an appointment. Good friends don't make appointments to have. What are we trying to do with this setup right here? Are we trying to introduce a more personal, as opposed to a car salesman, yes or no? When you become more personal, you're building what? All right, so here's where your moment comes up. Your first name?
John.
Yes, you John?
John Smith is a tough name to remember.
Good memory, just terribly short. All right, take a look right here. Here's your, you come up in just 2 seconds with that. Or they change the slides on me on, I want you to sit down for a second, but you're gonna come back up for the thing. I want you to listen to this, you're the customer. You're the customer, listen to see if you hear everything. Did I have a chance to hang up yet?
Good afternoon, that's you. Good afternoon, Jessica, that's you. How may I direct your phone?
Yeah, I was calling about a car, a vehicle I see online. I was wanting to ask some questions about it.
Okay, let me get your salesperson, one moment.
Okay, now, it takes like 15, 20 seconds between the receptionist and the salesperson to pick up the call. Have I had the opportunity to hang up as a customer?
Yeah, I had an opportunity to get another phone call.
Thank you for holding the sales department, Jeffrey speaking.
Listen carefully.
Jeffrey,
Yes.
I was calling about this, 1989 GMC car.
That's one.
Yeah, indeed, already sold that vehicle.
Is already gone?
Mm-hmm.
You guys any more Janelle's or Suburbans?
Also, not like that, not older ones like that.
You got a new one?
I have to check and see, we had a used car, I think we sold it. But that was priced right, that was old.
You got
I don't
something
have,
you
I don't
got?
have anything close to that.
What'd you guys hear?
We.
That's your competition, guys. That is your competition. Could you do better?
Guy doesn't even know his inventory.
Listen to this. Customer asked for cars how many times?
Three.
He asked for a 99 Yukon to begin with, right? But Jeffrey did one thing right. That's sold. But he didn't entice him into anything else. He said, oh yeah, we had another one, but that one is sold because it was priced right, which means all the others are priced wrong. And then the customer says, do you have a new one? Could the customer afford something more than a 99?
Well, you don't know.
Of course he can, because he said, do you have any other ones? No. Do you have a new one? Those are the things we gotta listen for. We gotta listen to see what it is the customer's motivations are saying. Enough said. This guy here is my favorite athlete. He's got a regimen. Does practice make perfect? Absolutely. What if you're practicing wrong?
Still using practice.
He's got a regimen like you would not believe. There's one person standing behind him to teach him. Who's that guy? That's a sales manager, isn't it? He won't make a dime until you all roll something, sell something. But even world's #1 has got somebody else looking at him. That guy sitting right there and his management staff, do they cost you anything?
No.
Don't cost you a dime. Do you utilize them? All right, from this moment on, you need to write down EMI.
Any more carrying information?
Say again?
Any more carrying information?
No. It stands for Early Management Introduction. When you go someplace to buy something of value, who's the first person you want to talk to regarding the price?
Owner, manager, top guy.
You want to hear it from the horse's mouth. There's nothing against us. We're the salespeople, product specialists, whatever you want, transportation marketers, whatever you want to call it. But if you get the customer, you meet and greet, and you go grab him and drag him off his office and say, hey, meet my customer, he's going to come up and say, hey, Mr. Customer, thank you for being here today. John here is going to show you the car, but I'm the one that knows all the programs. I know all the rebates. I know I can do 3, 4 different options. Let you decide which direction you want to go. As soon as you selected something, I'll get you service. What's going to happen to the customer's whole mindset?
He's not gonna ask for a price outside anymore, that's for sure.
What happens when customers ask for price right off the bat?
Goes on the deal.
You don't answer them, and what happens to them? They get pissed off.
Lost some trust, they don't like you.
What happens if you're doing an EMI on a customer?
You're eliminating yourself from that position.
Taking that pressure off the sales.
So, learning zone needs to happen where? What about repetition? What I just did with Rafi, where does it need to happen? It's got to be a place where you falter. This guy's regimen is he gets up in the morning, has a little breakfast, goes and stretches, goes to the sand, comes back, has a little bit more workout or something, goes back to the driving range, comes back and has lunch, goes back out there and goes to the driving range again, gets a massage, goes, does something. It's a 12-hour deal. This right here all happens before he goes into a tournament. What's the tournament time for us, the car salesman? Close for the customer. And the customer will need good copy. Okay? So, John, you ready? Come on up here, my man.
You can do it, Joe.
Read that first line. What does it say?
Be a human first, slow down, and build rapport.
How can you be human?
Just be a natural, be yourself.
Okay? You guys might know this name. He worked for me for 7 years at the Penske Group. His name is Charles Crimstock. Anybody know that name, or anybody knows Charles Crimstock? For 7 years in the sales tower I listened to, hello, my name is Charles. I can help you. May I have your name? Or something similar to that. He used to get 100% of the time, used to get the customer's name. Why is that important?
So you can call them personally.
What happens when you call somebody by their first name?
Makes them feel good.
I don't know, watch this. When I used to sell, I had a terrible memory. The customer would meet and greet, 3 steps away, I'd forget their name.
Yep.
And then I'd just go and go. And then one day, I ended up getting the deal and go to a write-up. And I said, okay, let's write this thing up. How do you spell your name? They said, Tom, T-O-M. Talk about embarrassing moment. That was terrible. So what I did, I took a pen and I put the customer's name right on my hand the whole time. Tom, tell me, what would you like about the car? Tom, this, Tom, that. How did that make him feel?
Important.
All right, so Charles used to do the same thing. Hello, I can help you. Now the customer's gone through 11 hours, then they got the gall up to go and dial the phone number, get into a dealership receptionist, put it on hold, finally gets to John or Charles, and then the first thing out of his mouth is, what happens to the customer's pressure? I finally got somebody that can. So, hello, I can help you. My name is Shawn. May I have your name? We're on the phone.
John Smith.
John, how are you today?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for calling. What city are you calling from?
I'm calling from Sunland.
Excellent. Excellent. Sunland is a nice place. Are you looking at the vehicle right now?
Yes, I am.
What are the customers doing when they're on the phone with you about a specific car? What are they doing?
Reading about it, they're looking right at
Looking at
it.
the pictures.
They're looking at it and they're looking right at it where? Where online?
At your
Where do I want to get them?
in your showroom.
Do you guys remember if you tell somebody, if you tell somebody to do something, they'll do it the right way? John, I appreciate you calling in for that. Are you looking at the vehicle now? We established why. Do this. Write this down. Do this. I've got a place for you to go for better photos, better information, a place that you can see the car a lot better. Do this. Put this in your browser. AlhambraVW.com. Are you there yet? You wait for them to get there. That's providing they're saying they're looking at it, they're on the computer right now. What are you doing the whole time with him? Are you able to build trust, rapport on the car, yes or no?
Yes, you are.
You just gotta go about it with technique, right? So he's thinking to himself, oh, more information? Better comments? I want that because I've spent 11.5 hours now talking with the guy that's seen the car, is validating what I've searched, and he's telling me to do something for my benefit. So do this, go there. You with me? What's the next slide? I know you called about this Ford F-150. Finish the rest.
But we have one, a higher price one, and we have other options that are lower price.
Okay, now listen to this now. Listen to what you're saying. I have one that's higher price. I have a few options for you. I've got something that's newer. I've got a couple other cars that we just took it on trade. But if I were to offer you something a little bit more beneficial to you, would you be interested in that?
Sure.
Nobody's gonna say no. Okay, you just gotta find it that way. Right? So what about this?
The most important, invite them to come in.
Sorry, you're getting swollen. You're good, man. I'm almost done, so you're good. So do you want to try this one time? Ring, 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 ring. Go.
Hello, I can help you. My name's John Smith. May I have your name?
Sean.
Sean, how are you today?
I'm doing great, John. How are you?
Terrific, thank you. Thanks for calling Alhambra Volkswagen. What city are you calling from, Sean?
I'm from Newport Beach.
Wow, that's a long way from here. Are you looking at the vehicle online right now?
I am. I went on cars.com and they didn't have a good selection, so I jumped over to autotrader.com.
What I'd like you to do right now, could you go to our website, which is Volkswagen?
No.
But
I got some better information for you. Do this.
I have some better information for you. Do this.
Now.
Log on to
You're
our
saying the same thing, it's just how his delivery is getting you there. It's
But-
more,
Instead of being the same as everybody else, you want to separate yourself. I've got more information for you, better information for you. Do this. You're telling him to do something, but it's beneficial to him, so he's going to do it. All right? Good job. Let's go. Are you looking at the vehicle now?
Are you looking at the vehicle now online?
I am. I was on cars.com, but I jumped over to autotrader.com.
I have a better idea for you. Do this.
Okay?
Go to VolkswagenAlhambra.com.
Done. I'm there. What do I do now?
Okay, what are you looking for? What options?
Ford F-150 used one.
Well, we have higher price ones that are new, and we have other options for you that are less money, maybe, in the used car department. We took a few in trade over the weekend. I'm not completely sure what we have, but I can sure help you.
Simple enough. And then what do you do? If the customer is from Newport Beach, it's pretty close, they can come in, right? What's better for you, John? During the week or the weekend?
Yeah.
How many people have been to the grocery store? What do they do as checkout? You want paper or plastic? You're kind of moving forward, right? Do you want during the week or the weekend? I want Saturday. Do you mean Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon? Morning. Closer to 9, closer to 12? I think 12. I have an 11 available for you. Does that work for you? Channel 11. You guys do that already, right?
at 15.
Guys, give me a round of applause. Great job, John.
Fucking great.
All right. Do you guys do self-monitoring?
Yes, it was not, also.
All right. Here's what the top producers do. They take the recorded call, they send it to individual salespeople. They listen to it in the privacy of their own office and they take notes. And then the next day they go with their coach, their manager, and they discuss it.
Their own calls, that ones they've taken.
Calls, they listen to themselves, get on the phone call.
Okay.
The best way that you can correct yourself is to listen to yourself and by yourself. If you're interested in getting better, you want to go and take notes on your sales calls. And then see if something like this, if you turn more human, it's going to work to your advantage as opposed to a car salesman. Get away from the stock numbers. Get away from, tell me which car. I have so many in stock right now. Help me find it for you. The whole time you're doing what?
Building trust.
And then when they walk in, they come in and ask for you. I got a way for you. You ask for a phone number. You don't even ask for the phone number. They just give it to you. Let's see if that works. This is a guy that sells about 35 cars a month, strictly on the phone. He doesn't take ups. Listen to how he gets the information. Have a chance to hang up yet? You gotta pick up those sales calls.
Right here.
Thanks for calling Dr. Lee. I'm speaking in question. Hi, this is PJ. Who's speaking to?
Albert Holiday.
Robert Holiday, how are you, sir?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
I got a call in at South City Pathfinder.
Yes, sir.
The white one. I was going to come down Saturday and take a look at it.
Okay, sounds fine. I'll tell you what, that's a really nice OE. It's in for considering that it's an OE3, it's absolutely in excellent shape. Really nice. Okay. And let's see, what's Saturday is typically a little chaotic for us. I have appointments in the morning and as well as in the afternoon. Which one would you prefer?
Yeah, morning. I'm coming up. Yeah, morning.
Okay, where are you coming up from?
Well,
Oh, okay. Okay, and let me see. I have a 9:45 and then a 10:45. Which one would you prefer?
10:45.
Okay. All right, sir. And are you familiar with where we're located?
I got the address here.
Okay, and are you looking at the 4914 or are you looking at the 6001 address?
49.
Okay, the 4914 is actually our new car store. Let me give you a secondary address where we're located.
Listen to this.
Oh, okay. Let me get.
Yes, if you'd like, I can text that information to you.
I can text that information.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, can I get a number to send that text?
478
Yes, sir.
865 0182.
0182. Okay, and if you'd like, would you like me to send you a vehicle history report or anything on this particular vehicle?
Yeah, AMP
AMP?
number 4,
Yes, sir.
AMP@yahoo.com.
Okay, so I have AMP4@yahoo.com.
Listen.
AMP4 AMP
Oh, okay.
at Yahoo.
Okay, so two,
Yeah.
two M's in there. Okay, so AMP4AMP@yahoo.com. And then
What's the internet price there?
let me get that for you real quick.
All right, in some states, the internet price is different than the price on the vehicle on the lot. This is a 4-minute call, you just listen to 3 minutes of it. He takes some time, goes, looks at the internet price, tells the customer, then make the appointment. The thing is, what he fails to do there, how did he do? Pretty good, right? He failed to do some more rapport stuff. He mentioned on some of the things, he said hello, and when he said, how are you, Mr. Halliday, or whatever his name is, kind of blew it off and called about the 2003 Pathfinder or whatever, right? Like, he did a lot of things right. Hello, and how are you? Where are you coming, where are you calling from, two below? And that information, he made the appointment, but then, you guys remember the movie Jerry Maguire?
Yeah.
Help me,
Help you.
help you. I'll do something for you. In return, you do something for me. I will give you the vehicle history report, some information, Carfax. In return, where would you like me to send that to? Did he ask for the phone number? Did he ask for the phone number? He didn't, did he? So the customer felt good enough to say, hey, it's different. He's doing something for me. Am I gonna say no to him? If you say, I'm gonna send the service history on that Corvette, are you gonna say no to me? I'm doing something for you, right? So that's how it becomes a little bit different than the normal car salesman say, hey, what's your name and phone number? Okay. What time would you like the appointment to be? You see the difference, right? So what happens to the email address if you get it one letter wrong? When I said you verified it.
Doesn't go through.
It bounces back all day long. So we got to verify and re-verify. What about the address to the dealership that he says, what address do you have on Google Maps? And it was one address, and they were actually a different address. If a customer that's calling in to you, if they can't find you, will they ever get to you? Is it easy for them to say, to hell with this, I'm going to your competitor? All day long. So you got to be so versed to just get them into the dealership, right? So chat is something we talked about. It creates opportunity that wouldn't otherwise exist. Read that one.
Do I want to come in here and see you?
10% email, and that's the question you're asking. So what do we do with this right here? Does this pretty much look like your receipt in your browser? They have a date and a type of a car, customer name, phone number or not, email address, and a type of a vehicle, right? So this second guy right here, what do you do with this guy? You email him first, call him first, or text him first? Call him. Who said that? You're absolutely correct, sir. Tell me what.
The best way to engage, you know, build a little bit of trust. You know, that person.
Watch this, it becomes very important. It's very important. When you see a browser like this, the customer that gives you a phone number says, I've been in the market, I've done 8, 10, 15 hours of shopping. I am ready to talk with somebody. That's the reason I'm giving you my number. Call me. So when you call, you can't leave a lengthy message. This is Raphael calling from Alhambra VW. Please call me back if I have something for you. Simple. Right? What about this guy above you? He doesn't give you a phone number, but email, card, all of that. What do you do with that guy? What kind of an email? What's he saying to you by not giving you a phone number?
He's not ready to come.
He's in the market, but hasn't been in the market long enough to talk with anybody. He doesn't want to hear from you. All he wants to do just to get in is you have a car that he's interested in. You just want to be calling, yes sir.
I'll kind of, 50% of it, I'll go away from the car, try to get a little bit of a relationship going with them. And on the other 50%, I'll put the car in along with a few more cars that might be interested.
Okay. We're going to talk about this a little bit longer because a lot of these people that are chatting and emailing could turn into more than that if you pay close attention to it. Right? So, how many people here get emails, personal or business?
All of them.
Everybody?
All of them.
All right, pay close attention here. When you get your email browser, if it's a work email, you have message from the GM, GSM sends you question, and there's possibility that you might get some advertising and so on. You're gonna have like 15 different emails right there, right? First of all, if a customer is sending you an email, you wanna reply to it, not start a whole new email, right or wrong?
Right.
So when you reply to it, what shows?
Their own email or subject.
This shows, right? So they can see what they sent you and what you're responding with. This shows, but there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. So here's what we need to do. What we need to do is to acknowledge the customer, the car, and our dealership. I shared this with the dealership in San Diego. Their response rates went up 44%. So this is no joke, this works. You see 15 emails. First thing you see in there is your name. John Doe. Followed by an apostrophe S. Mr. Customer, this email you sent me right here, I recognize what it is you're asking for. It's a 2005 Ford F-150. I'm responding to you. Here's your name, and your car is 2005 F-150. And then you want to go something like this, at your dealership name, Alhambra or Pasadena, VW, and then like this. So he's looking at 15 emails. He sees the car that he's been searching for. He sees his name, and that is your in as opposed to everybody else that sends the emails. He sees his name and recognizes him. Now, that just gets your foot in the door, right? So what do most dealerships do? Thank you very much for contacting us. So-and-so is gonna be working on this for you, and they'll send you 2 paragraph longs worth of template, right? Lead providers do not give you the color in and out, don't give you the options, they don't give you the model. So you want to put maximum of 2 sentences. Got your email, thank you. Help me help you. I actually have used that in an email and it's worked perfectly. Help me help you. Need the color, need the options, need the model in order to serve you, to better serve you. Is that too hard to write? So here on my son's baseball game watching, the email comes in where? Phone. Dealer B's got 3 paragraphs worth, you got 2 sentences worth. Who am I about to? Whose message will I'm willing to get rid of? Whose message I'm willing to read? So then we follow this up. This is your subject line, right? I don't think this is one of your nuggets. So then you follow it up with what?
Video.
How much different is that?
When you say follow-up email. The next email after that should be video.
Response email. They send an email to us, you want to reply to it.
Right.
You don't want to start a whole new email.
Right.
You want to see history.
Right.
And the second time there's a response back to us, 2 REs show up, 3 REs show up, regarding. Then you're spending more time with the customer on an email. What happens to your chances when you're spending time with somebody of selling the car?
Percentage of getting them.
Every time you spend some time with somebody on the phone, in person, on the email, you have a greater chance of closing that deal. So let's move on from this.
John, quick question on that. For the subject line there, you have the apostrophe, the ad, and the .com. From
That's
your
also
knowledge, but from your knowledge, how does that work towards getting filtered?
As long as you keep the thing under 30 seconds, there's no issue. It's been going through, I literally did this for 18 months, and all of my people did it for 18 months, we never had a problem with the filter issues. It's just a matter of doing it differently than most dealers send the responses to. Make sense?
Yeah, that part.
So you send a video, but you know what? I've got a better way for you. Always have a reason to contact the customer, and a response has got to be a long text. Day 1, color options, package or model, subject line difference. You start with that, and then day 2 goes like that. Day 3, day 4, 5, and so on. John, read that for me, would you?
It's all about what you can do for them.
Isn't it any different than phone and up on the lot? What about here? What about after you make that appointment, you confirm the appointment? If you have an appointment at 10:45 on Saturday morning, do you want to wait for 10:45 Saturday morning to see if the customer shows up or not, or do you want to know about it at 3:30 on Friday afternoon?
That's where we're having a lot of our issues.
You want to hit them right between the eyes. Hey, Mr. Customer, I was planning my weekend, and I know you are too. I wanted to make sure we're meeting each other at 10:45 tomorrow morning. If a customer's got cold feet, he's going to tell you right there. Because he's not going to hang you up. But you got to pick up the phone and dial the number and do something like what the dentist does to you. You have an appointment at 9:23 tomorrow morning. We just called to remind you. And then if you're not going to come, you have an opportunity to re-glue them. How do you re-glue them? You simply want to find out why is it it's not coming in. It could be one of 2 reasons. Either the son is playing baseball at 10:45, he can't be there, which is understandable. You have an opportunity at bringing him back in at a different time. Or you're going to say, you know what, I've changed my mind, I think the car is too much. That's your opportunity to say, hey, I have never seen a few $100s stand between us and a car deal. And in all honesty, Mr. Customer, by you being here and I'm looking at the whites of your eyes, my manager is going to bend over backwards, try to do whatever he can to make a deal with you. I think we had a pretty good relationship together on the phone, on the email, whatever. allow me to pursue and follow up with that. You don't want to go somewhere that you do not.
No.
Exactly. That you do not.
Trust. Like.
You don't want to deal with somebody that you do not.
Like.
I want to hear it from everybody. You don't want to deal with somebody that you do not like. Because that is a difference. That's where the light bulb goes on. I want to deal with this guy because I like him. You're putting the thought into their heads that if I go somewhere else, I may not like them. And they don't want that. People buy cars from people. Right? Enough said. What about this? Remember I told you if your name is used in vain anywhere on the internet? If you go sign up for Google Alerts, they send you an email within seconds after the customer says, I've had a bad transmission, I had a terrible experience at ABC Motors. Within seconds, Google sends you an email letting you know that, hey, your name was just used in something bad or good. Time is of an essence. Time is a huge of an essence. The customer is that's gonna look to see how you treated your customers. They're gonna see how quickly you responded to a problem. You with me? I am sorry to hear about your troubles with the car, Mr. Customer. When can you come in? When can we bring the car in? When can we tow the vehicle in order to remedy your issue? We're anxious to help you. Please allow us the opportunity. What happens to the third customer that goes and sees the blog and sees the response? What are they thinking?
Strong. These guys care.
They care. Where does customers spend most of their time? What part of your website?
Testimonials.
Testimonials. What if the testimonial is a negative testimonial?
want
And more
someone
people know about it, right? Time is of an essence huge. Now, what if somebody's praising you? I had a great experience with. What do you want to do with that?
You want to show it off.
It was an honor and a pleasure to serve you, Mr. Customer, Mr. Shopper, whatever. If I can be of further assistance to serve you or family, we want to always have that humble message to a customer. People love humble. People love human beings. People allow you to have a fault if you're a human being, right or wrong. If you screw up, they still buy a car from you. Right? What about this? Google Maps. If a customer can't reach you, they'll never get to you, right? You got to know about construction. You got to know different directions to get the customer in. You got to make sure, if you have Chinese customers, be able to communicate with them. Now, who asked me about Chinese? I don't think he's in the room. So what if you have a lot of Chinese customers? Well, Google Translate, you know what it does? You go and put in something in English, and you translate it in anything you want. Tangolese and Mandarin and whatever it is you want. And you can send it as an email to the customer. When they send you a response, you can put it back into Google Translate, and you can understand it in English. Did you all know about that? You do know about that. So it's not that big. So there's one place that you can find everything you heard from me today. And by the way, did you guys like or dislike? Was I talking about the right information today or wrong information? What do you think?
Good information, writes it out.
So, is working smart, is it easier than working hard? You just gotta know the rules, right? The dealer learning center is a good place to go. And then we talked about practicing making perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see what that looks like when you have a perfect practice.
This is our head mechanic, Jose. Jose is hooking me up to this lie detector machine at my request. Why am I doing this? So I can prove to you people once and for all, here at Creasel Brothers Used Cars, we know what we sell. If I lie one tiny bit, you'll hear it. It's on, Mr. Creasel. Good. Hi, I'm Al Creasel. Okay, I was lying. My name is Emmett Creasel. I named it for the business. But we here at Creasel Used Cars aren't lying. We aren't kidding. We're telling the truth. When we say we have used cars in A1 condition, A2, A3, we have used cars. This is my wife, my girlfriend, a woman I know, and our son. Odds are he's my son. But isn't she beautiful? I was drunk. Here at Creasel Brothers every other car. We guarantee we won't guarantee any car. Rizzo Brothers is a name you can count on. Rely on. For now.
So let me ask you a question. Did he practice at a place that he could falter? Could he pull this off in front of a national audience on Saturday Night Live? Could he? Could he? Without practice?
Oh, no.
Practice makes what?
Perfect.
Perfect practice makes what?
Perfect delivery.
Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So you guys need to go call each other. You guys need to go up each other. You guys need to bring this to life because why? It'll only become sweet when? When does it become sweet? When it rolls right off, right? So, with that said, it was a pleasure. Coming back. Any questions? Any questions with anything about anything? Is there something in specific that I didn't talk about? And I got a really short memory. You drive a Volkswagen. At the beginning of this